Hello, Razan Fritz. She's saying hi in the chat. Hello, everyone. I see a few names that I recognize, people who already know us, names that I know. It's lovely to have you all here. Hello, Anrika. She's from Oakmead Prep and Academy, and she has 24 ECD students. Oh, welcome. Then we have Roseanne from a school in Alberton, Raceview Kids. And Emily, she's from Firm Foundation Education Center. Welcome, Emily. Tikeledi from New Hope Kingdom Kids. Oh, in Soweto. We have someone all the way from Pretoria and Mamelodi, Helen Sima, principal of Kids Tabernacle Academy. Welcome. It's so lovely to have all of you here, and I'm hoping you are all ready for the most productive lunch break you've ever taken in your life, because my guest and I are going to be sharing some amazing tips, practical tips for marketing your ECD center. And I think that's why we are here. So let me get started with this. So today you are in the right place if you are looking for some practical inspiration and real life ideas from real ECD center owners. My guest today is Kendall van Niekerk. She is the administrative principal of Annie's Ark Preschool in Lansdowne. And apologies from our other guest speaker who could not join us today, Renee. Renee's from Renee's Educare in Durban. And unfortunately, she woke up with a terrible throat infection. So Renee was going to join us as well. But I promise you, between myself and Kendall, we are going to share a lot of amazing tips and ideas. Feel free to use the chat section to ask us any questions, or maybe share your ideas and your comments. We're also streaming live on Facebook, and we are recording this meeting. So if anybody misses a section, or you want to share this with a friend afterwards for review, know that we will share the link with you, as well as all of our slides. We're going to be talking about a few very interesting things. The first is our free marketing guide for preschools, which you'll definitely enjoy. Secondly, I want to talk a little bit about some mind shifts that we need to make to think like a marketer, especially in the ECD space. And then we'll dive into some tips from Kendall, and we'll go into real activities that ECD center owners know are working well for them. And finally, look at how can Grow help your ECD center otherwise, and how else can we work together. All right, let me just see here. Lots more hellos in the chat. Thank you very much. Alitilwe, welcome from Natanang Daycare. Lovely to have you here. And Lebohang from Bokamosa Daycare in Orlando. And she says, I have 20 bundles of joy. Thank you for that. So lovely to see everybody in the chat. So for those of you who are new here, you may be wondering, well, who's Grow ECD? What do we do? We are a South African nonprofit social enterprise, and we've been running our business for more than a decade. And we really want to create a holistic model that makes running a sustainable 5-star ECD center possible for all. So for us, it's all about sustainability, but also about quality. And we want to do that because we want to empower the people who are educating the next generation. We can't wait any longer and leave any more generations behind. And we know that education is very, very important. And we believe that we need to empower you, the people who are educating the next generation. So the way we do that is we equip and we connect ECD businesses with practical skills, tools, and support and resources that they need to provide 5-star early learning. And that's really because we want to see good quality learning happening in every neighborhood, because through quality education, you can unlock people's potential. So the secret sauce, the magic formula that Grow ECD believes in, is that if you want to run a sustainable ECD business that is operating for many years, providing quality education and paying staff fairly, achieving all the registration requirements, we need a heart for children and a head for business. So the heart for children implies that we're interested in quality education, developing young minds, learning through play. And Head for Business means that we know that we need to apply business principles so that we can keep running our preschool small businesses for a very long time, and as best as possible. So today, I think the Marketing Your ECD Center webinar is going to focus a little bit on developing your head for business, especially your head for marketing your business. Hello, I just see that Julia from Tin House Daycare has joined us, and Doreen from Little Lamb's Creche. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry that I can't reply to everybody. Hello, Vuyo, I see you here as well. All right, so Grow ECD has a free marketing guide that we've created especially for ECD Center owners. This is not just a normal guide about general business marketing. This is about preschool marketing. And in this guide, it's quite jam-packed. And when you download it, you will see that it covers the topics of what is marketing, how to start thinking like a practical marketer. What are the marketing mind shifts you need to make? What does the marketing process look like for a preschool? And 10 tips for gaining customers and 10 tips for keeping customers with practical photos and examples of how other centers are doing it. You'll also get a free resource in the back, which is a parent survey example. It really is a jam-packed resource. And you heard me, it's free. So where can I get this? Helene, I'm hearing you ask. You can download this for free from your Grow Giraffe app. In the My Tools section of the app, there's a section for resources. You go into the resource section, scroll down to the category called Marketing Your Preschool. That's where all the Marketing Your Preschool resources are. And there you can download the free guide. It's called a practical guide to getting, not getting your ECDs into, it's called the practical, the marketing guide, tips for marketing your preschool. Sorry, I'm seeing the one that says practical guide for getting your center registered. You also have that one, which you can download for free. All right, so that's an amazing resource, jam-packed, and you can download it on your phone, maybe share it with your committee, your sister or your daughter, whoever's helping you with your marketing, and go through some of those amazing tips. Now, I've been in marketing my whole life, which is quite long actually, and marketing small businesses is absolutely my passion because the work that small businesses do is incredible. You are building the economy, you're employing people, and as ECD centers, you're also delivering such a valuable service to your community, a service that you deserve to be paid for. And it really, I get frustrated when I see that so many centers are being sometimes abused by parents, not respected, or that they struggle to even just fill their classrooms. And marketing, I think thinking like a marketer is a good place to supplement your head for business. So when it comes to thinking like a marketer, when I say marketing, some people will tell me, oh yes, I have to run ads, or I have to get new customers. But I want you to think a little bit more about your business as, imagine your business has one of these revolving doors, the type you might see at a supermarket or a mall. And your job through marketing is not just to get customers into your ECD center, to get new parents enrolled. It's quite hard work to get them inside your business. I'm sure you'll agree. Get them enrolled, get them signed up, get them paying. Once they're inside, a big part of your job as in marketing as well is to make sure they don't leave again. That you don't have this revolving door where you're working really, really hard to get people into your business, that as soon as they're in, they're also walking back out. And this is one of the key mind shifts we have to make when we think about marketing, is that marketing is about gaining customers. So brand awareness, getting people interested, word of mouth, but it's also very much about keeping your customers, building loyalty, educating them about your business, serving them, delighting them, and turning them into your brand ambassadors. And I think when we speak to Kendall, you'll hear some of the great tips she has for gaining, but also for keeping customers. And what I find interesting is one of the best marketing strategies people will say is word of mouth. But how do you create word of mouth? You've got to create ambassadors for your school. And that's why everything you do essentially is marketing, and all of it helps you get word of mouth and recommendations. All right, so why should we be thinking like a marketer? Because your preschool offers a very essential service, a valuable service to parents and to your community. And if you don't have good quality paying customers, then you don't have cash and you can't pay your bills. And then that means you can't provide a good service and your business will become unsustainable. So when we talk about money or profit, sometimes people get very anxious or uncomfortable. As a center owner, money is a tool, it's a resource that you use to invest back in your business, invest in good quality teachers, invest in equipment, invest in consumables, cleaning materials, nutrition, all of the things that parents want. And that means that parents should also be willing to pay for the good service that you offer. And so marketing helps us to put the customer first. When we put the customer first, then they are happy to pay us for our services, and they want to keep being your customer. They love being your customer. All right. So, Kendall, I think we're going to start talking a little bit about what you are doing at Annie's Ark. So, Kendall, won't you introduce yourself? Just tell us a little bit about Annie's Ark, where you are, kind of how many learners, your capacity, and then we can dive right in.
Sure. Hello. Hi. Yes, I started the school actually with my mother, which some people, it's not always the best idea, but it works for us. We started in 2022, and you might know her, Lindsay van Ekek. She's the education program manager in the Western Cape. Yeah, so we manage the school together. I also have a background in marketing, which helps. Yeah, and I think the most important thing that I've learned over the years, and even now with specifically marketing for preschool, is to keep it simple. You know, focus on who your audience is, who you're talking to, and what you want to achieve before you go into anything else. I think those are the two most important things that I've learned to keep top of mind to focus on.
Because
Yeah.
marketing can feel overwhelming, you might be getting so much advice. People are saying, oh, are you on TikTok? Are you doing this? Do you have a website? It can feel very overwhelming. So Kendall and I today are going to demystify, and I think we're going to keep it simple. Thank you so much for that. That's a great starting point. So when you download your marketing guide, you'll see that there are 10 ideas, which we go into detail for gaining customers. Kendall and I are just going to talk about a few of them. But Kendall, let's start with signage. A great comment that I actually had from Renee. Renee runs her preschool from her home. And she was telling me, you know what, Eileen, my big problem at the moment is it just looks like a house. I need signage. So what were your thoughts when you developed your signage? You can see at the bottom left. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, our first port of call was to use the grow signage that when you're in partnership. So that was our first thing to do. But we had to move premises, and when we moved premises, we wanted to make it this. There was a massive wall; it was blank, and we wanted to make it as bright as possible. So we used what we had with our building. That's what we had. And we looked around for a local person who could do the mural for us. And we wanted to make it as bright and welcoming as possible.
Yeah.
But
But,
also that it makes sense. It's an
yes.
arc, so
Yes.
there's
What
also.
I like about this is most potential customers are they reaching out to you on WhatsApp?
Yes, or
Calling
they're
you?
calling us and saying, I
Yes.
drove by,
Yes.
you
So
know.
your cell phone number is so nice and clear on there. So if you're the type of person who's getting a new cell phone number every couple of months, that's quite high risk because every time you'll need to update your signage. So that's a helpful tip is trying to stick to your cell phone number, make the cell phone number nice and visible and easy to find. Absolutely. I'm sure many other centers can also give us great examples. If you have a road or visibility, this is a great way for people to easily find your school. But another great way for people to find your school is through Google Maps. Won't you tell us about your experience with Google Maps?
Yes. So with your Google information, you can add Google Business information, and that's when you search for something, and then the info is on the right hand side in kind of the block. And so we purposely put our address in there, so when they type in our name, they can see it on the map. And if they're searching for it as well. So we try to keep it as clear as possible.
I see that we have a question in the chat from Stephanie. She was asking about your signage. Did you have to get permission from the city council for your signage, or are you renting from a landlord? How did that work?
Yes, so we are renting from a landlord, and we just had to get their permission, and that's all we need to do. Also, we weren't adding any building or wall or anything. We were just decorating the wall we already had.
Yes, and you already have your zoning, so it is zoned as a business.
Yeah.
Now, and you were telling me yesterday that someone contacted you through Google Maps. What happened?
Yes, I had a call from a parent, and I've started to ask, how did you find out about us? To start figuring out what actually works. And he said he Googled preschools in Lansdowne, and we popped up.
Hmm.
And that was that. It was great.
So two good tips there. What Kendall is saying is when people contact you, ask them, how did you hear about me? That's such a great idea, because then you can start hearing, is your Facebook page working? Is it the signage? Did someone recommend you? Then you can also hear what's working for you. So a tip that I have for Google Maps is you need to create a account called Google My Business. So on your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop, whatever you're using, make sure you log into Chrome or Google with your Gmail account. So don't use your friend's phone, because then Google will think that friend's email address is the one that owns the business. Make sure you're logged into the Gmail account for your business or your personal Gmail account. Then you go to Google My Business and you create a Google My Business account. When you do that, it will ask you for things like, can we also put your business on the map? What is your address? Do you want to load a photo? And then you can load things like your addresses, your operating hours, your contact numbers, all of that details. It really is very helpful. We'll look at Annie's arc in a minute to show you online. All right. Fikile is asking, what do you do when your Google location is incorrect? The pin lands you at the street behind us. Okay, so Fikile, that's a great question. If you go into the pin, the incorrect one, you can claim the business. So currently, someone, maybe random person, said, oh, this is where your school is. It's not really there, but Google doesn't know. So you have to help Google figure out that's not the location. So when you go into Google My Business, you can claim that business. You can say, hey, I'm the boss of that pin. And you can say, actually, that's not the correct location. On the also on the Bro Giraffe app, in the marketing section under the resources, there's a document you can download on how to get started with Google My Business. But also there's lots of YouTube videos and tutorials online that can help you. Okay, Dikuledi, so the registering on the Google map, there's a resource that we can share with you. It's also in the app under the resources, or just go on YouTube or on Google and ask about Google My Business. So Google My Business is great because, like you were saying, Kendall, if I'm in Lansdowne and I'm going preschools, I'll find all the preschools in my area. And then when I'm driving and I see your signage, and I'm like, oh, I'm in the right place. Excellent. So open days, this is an amazing ad that you created for your open day. Tell us a little bit about your strategy for open days and also how you made this lovely ad.
Yes, so actually, we had to clarify first what our intention of the open day was going to be. So what was our plan? What was the purpose of it? What were we trying to showcase? What were our main achievement or goals for the day? Because from there, I then created something that focused on that.
Mm.
So for example, we had done quite a bit of renovations and we wanted to showcase that. So I made a comment about, we've made some renovations, come and check it out. We have got the food garden. So we wanted people to come see that. So I mentioned it. So we focused on the most important objectives or goals for the day and then put it on there. And again, very important, keep it clear, keep it simple, and then we just put a bunch of photos. And something that's very important about this is that I use Canva, which can be a bit daunting at the beginning, but is user friendly. It's a design app, and there's a bunch of templates. And so actually, I use a template and just put in my information. Um, so yeah, it's a basic toolkit for you to make things. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Canva, for those of you who don't know, I'll put the name in the chat. Canva is there's a free and a paid for online tool that can help you design. You absolutely can use the free version. It has lots of options and tools. And maybe you have someone even in your family who likes to design or is quite creative. They could do it for you, or you can just simply use it yourself. Upload your own photos if you want. Make sure that you have permission from parents if you're using photos of learners, and then design your own adverts. This is a great way to do it. If you are not comfortable with Canva or you're not sure, maybe you're comfortable with PowerPoint, we do have a template, the one on the left, the one that says Happy Apple. We have that one available for download on the Grow app as well. And you can just personalize it with your center's details. It's a lovely opening. I love how you're saying, Kendall, before you host an event, you ask yourself, what will success look like? Why am I even doing this? Because then you know how to evaluate it. So
Yeah, and what you should put on, you need to know what you're doing before you can
yes,
make a flyer, because what's the point of it?
yes.
You need to know that.
Yes, absolutely. So when potential parents, customers reach out to you, they're interested in Annie's Ark, they want to know more, you have this lovely leaflet. Tell us a little bit more about your process when people reach out to you, they're calling or they're WhatsApping. What do you do to help them really get Annie's Ark and think that they want to enroll?
Yeah, so you want to respond as quickly to parents and be as clear in a short space of time. You don't want to bombard them, all those kind of things, but you want to respond quickly because it's more professional. And you create a better relationship with them. So what we do is we ask for the WhatsApp number if possible, and then we WhatsApp them the information almost immediately. And I've got the content, the message already on a kind of a Word document on the side. So whenever anybody WhatsApps me, I can say our info, and then I put the basic information.
Yes.
Very quickly send the enrollment form. We actually send our Facebook page link as well, so they can see the daily things we do. And then this leaflet as well, which I designed 2022. I just updated it actually, and
Yes.
it's also got all our basic information. Again, make things easy for yourself. I did this template 2022, and I just updated it. It's an old one, but
It
it's
still
still
works.
effective.
It still works.
Yeah.
And I think what I like about that is, as a parent, I'm now reaching out to you, and very quickly you're coming back to me and you're looking very professional, because you're sending me the info about the school, your operating hours, the costs, the age groups, how you work. You're sending me your leaflets. Maybe you're also attaching the enrollment form. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Via WhatsApp.
on everything on WhatsApp. So now if I'm a parent, maybe I've Googled, I've seen one or two centers, I'm reaching out to all of them. Your center already looks very professional because you've got everything ready. And let's face it, if you've got a baby on the one hip and you're talking to a teacher with the other ear, a parent sending you a WhatsApp, you don't want to be typing things out. So you're just copying and pasting from your notes where you've saved
Yeah.
and prepped all of this.
And sorry, just to add to that, if you don't mind, the flyer is even better. And sometimes I would just say our info and then send the flyer, because it already tells you more with the beautiful pictures you've got on there, and you've got your logo. And it's brighter, and it's a better
Yes.
way to capture their attention. And it says even more about your school. It makes it look better.
So
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 I prefer the
true.
flyer actually.
They say a photo says 1,000 words. So you don't have to type 1,000 words if you already have two beautiful photos, which explains what your school is all about. Now, I want to talk about Facebook because Facebook, some people are telling me, oh, no, they don't want to do Facebook, or, oh, they've tried Facebook, but they're not sure that it works. In fact, what we're going to do now is I'm going to leave the presentation and go to the Annie's Ark Facebook page, while Kendall tells us more about how they've set that up and what their thoughts were. There we go.
Yes. So actually, we created our Facebook page only last year. Because Lindsay, working in ECD for so long, she had a following of people who were involved in ECD, and and we had a lot of. She has already had this kind of rapport and this relationship on Facebook. So we decided that um, her Facebook page will be even more effective than ours at that time. And again, we were just using a channel and an asset we already had. But then we did make our Facebook page, and we post on the Facebook page, and then Lindsay shares it on her feed. So we're still gaining recognition by, so
I
we
think
do that.
that's so
Yeah.
helpful. So if you're feeling a bit scared of running a Facebook page, start with your own page, because let's face it, as the center owner, you really are the brand of your center, right? You're the brand of your school. So you could start by simply using your own private page to post about what you're doing. But then I think creating the page for the school is helpful because, number one, it's in the public space. Anybody can find it. And you're curating and deciding what can go on there. One point that I want to note here is what I thought was very clever is these days on Facebook, if you have a page, you can connect your page to your WhatsApp. So usually here people would click and they would send you a direct message to Facebook. For some of us, that's not as convenient. You can also connect it to WhatsApp and people will WhatsApp you directly. I like that you have a nice, simple logo. You've created a lovely little picture here, probably also in Canva. And here you can see a beautiful introduction that that Annie's Ark has built here. In every piece of communication I see that you say that Annie's Ark is about building intelligence through play. Now, if your school can build its own little slogan like that, I think it's a fantastic thing to start incorporating into your newsletter, under your logo, into your Facebook page. And there you have your age groups. Here's your address, your cell phone numbers, email addresses, and some amazing photos and things. So what you've also done is you've pinned a post to the top. Anybody who comes here will always see this one first, and it's a little introduction to Annie's Ark and how you work. Won't you tell us a little bit about your posts and what you look at when you plan your posts?
Yes. So it's actually Lindsay who does it, because I can do it as well, but she's a brilliant storyteller. And I think we're so used to thinking of marketing as saying, join our business now. But you're talking to people. It's just people you're talking to. So you talk to them like you talk to anybody else, and so we share the exciting things we do at the school, the interesting things. So it's not necessarily daily or like I must post per week. It's as things happen. Like you can see, the teachers did that beautiful photo at the end of the week one.
Yes.
Just further up, and we asked permission first of all from the parent to have her face full on. Very important. But our focus was to tell a story because people go along the journey with you and they're engaging and they love following without having this hard sell. So we focus on telling a story and then we say the wonderful things that are being done. We might mention things like, today we did this exercise and it builds motor skills,
Yes.
or kind of thing. So we're constantly talking about what we're doing and why it's important, and in essence bragging,
Yes.
but modestly doing so, because you've
Yes.
got to talk up your school. You've got to be confident in what you do.
Yes.
Because you need to tell other people that they can believe in you as well.
Yes.
Um, yeah.
What I also pick up about your posts is many of the posts don't feature the children face on. You don't always have to have photos featuring a child's face.
Yeah.
Here, for example, you're showcasing just how beautiful you've made a reading corner and how special the reading corner is, or your lovely theme tables, or I think these are great ways for people to get a feeling of what the center is like. And not every post is, hey, sign up today, hey, enroll today. For example, here you have a photo of the kids are drawing on the wall, I think with water and paintbrushes. And yeah, their faces are from behind. So there's really great ways to share all of this. I loved also the photo of the staff, and it shows the professional staff. And these are the people you can expect to see when you come to Annie's Art.
Yeah, and then with Facebook, it's not just for new people. It's likely, and like you were saying, the revolving door, because you're not just communicating to new, you're communicating to your current parents. You're constantly showing these are the things we're doing. We're actually helping your child achieve by doing some kind of skill. And these are things that are happening at our school. So you're constantly telling parents that it's a good idea to be with us. And this is what we're teaching your kids,
Yes.
which builds a relationship and their confidence in us. And then they refer you to other people.
Yes. So my tip for the day is go and find Annie's Art Preschool on Facebook. Follow them and you'll really be inspired by some of the great posts that they do. Maybe that will also give you some ideas and some inspiration. Also, you don't have to create all of the content. You might have some teachers who are already doing TikToks or who are enjoy taking photos. Leverage your team. Ask your team how you can work together. In that way, you're not responsible for every single thing. You, as a team, you can work together to create Facebook content. Also, what I find is sometimes people already have a WhatsApp group, a closed group, and we'll get there now. Maybe you're posting a lovely photo on the WhatsApp group. You could possibly just reuse that same content on Facebook. So in many cases, you could have one item or one activity that goes on a WhatsApp group, on a newsletter, and also on a Facebook group or page. In fact, Kendall, let's talk about WhatsApp. Do you have, what is your opinion on having a school phone versus using your personal phone? What are you doing at Annie's Art?
Yeah, so we are using a school phone. We actually have, and we need to get a new one. It's an old phone that no one was using. It's not anything fancy, but the most important thing is it has WhatsApp on it and the Grow apps. So that's literally the whole point of the phone. And it means that it's a few things we use it for. One, we've got the permanent number. That's the Anisoc number, finish and clear, and it's not getting confused with your personal. So you're not posting
Yes.
about your friend's birthday on the same WhatsApp as you are posting about the school and those kind of things.
Yes.
So it's more professional and it's easier for you to separate. Two, anybody can use the phone. So, for example, if you say, actually, I'm unable to man it, can one of the teachers do it today? And they're responding from the same person. And it's constantly communicating with new potential parents and current parents, because if there's any issues, that's the number they use. And then we also have our WhatsApp group. And our WhatsApp group is for all the parents. And that is where we show more pictures of the kids, face everybody, what they're doing for the day. But it's a closed group and it's also only admin can post. So parents aren't messaging you, they're asking questions. It's just us posting because you don't want that. It's just going to cause too much friction. And it's really just us posting, this is what we did today. Tomorrow, this is what's going to happen. In a month's time, we're going to go to the aquarium. It's informing parents and then constantly showing them the wonderful things they're doing. Lots of joy in the app, and the parents feel reassured.
Yes.
So WhatsApp is fantastic.
That's a really great tool. I wanted to mention that Kendall was mentioning that she also attaches her enrollment form when she talks to potential parents. If you need a professional and POPI compliant enrollment form that you maybe want to personalize with your center's name and logo, you can download an enrollment form for free on the Resource Center in the Grow Giraffe app. think it's in the section called Forms and Templates. So it's in a Word document that you download. You can edit any section that you need, add your own school's name, add your own school logo, and then you'll have a very professional enrollment form. The enrollment form also is all the information that you might need to capture a learner in your Grow Giraffe app. So they really do work together nicely. And the section, the public compliance section, is where parents can indicate whether you can use their child's photos on social media or not. So you cover all of that in one go. Kendall, you mentioned that you use the Grow Giraffe apps. Does that help you with your marketing? Is it just a business admin tool? What do you find is helpful about the app in managing your ECD business?
We use it mainly for the day-to-day business, and we use it for everything, your fees, expenses, just getting the kids information and all of that. And the main thing is it just frees up your time to focus on other things, so it gives you more time. And there's so much information on there. We use the enrollment template and we just added our logo, changed a few things. But there's so much information on there, it makes your life easier, and there's tips and everything else.
Yeah.
So
Because
yeah, it's really great.
I can just imagine people saying, well, when am I going to find time to do this marketing? So you have to save time on other things, right? You have to work smarter. So maybe technology can be a great way for you to save time on admin, and you'll have more time to think creatively about your marketing.
Definitely. And you're continuing to be professional.
Yes.
With the things you do, even taking in the fees, just everything remains professional and clear for you. And then that's what you communicate with your parents as well.
Absolutely. Okay. Now I'm going to go, we've spoken a little bit about keeping customers as well, but I want to show you one or two other things. I thought that this was also a really practical piece of advice. When parents, grandparents come to drop off or collect learners, it's also a great idea to have a notice board, a whiteboard notice board at your entrance or at your drop-off zone. Here you can remind those parents who never read their WhatsApps, who never read the newsletter. You can remind them, Valentine's Day fundraiser is 2 weeks from now. Make sure you send your 20 Rand, or photograph monies are due, or we're closing on this date because we're fumigating, whatever it might be. So a notice board is also very, very helpful and practical. You can simply update it every day. I also see that schools use their notice boards to say, congratulations, these are the learners that have a birthday today, and celebrate birthdays on there as well. Tell us a little bit, Kendall, about, besides your WhatsApp group, do you also use a communications book or any other tools?
Yes, so we use the parent communication book, the Grow parent communication book. So that happens daily. And we use mainly WhatsApp to contact parents. Even when there's an incident, child knocked their head, it's bleeding, we fixed it, kind of thing. So we are constantly communicating with the parents in addition to the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Louise. She's asking a question, or they're asking a question about the frequency of posts on WhatsApp. How often do you post photos on the WhatsApp group without over posting and parents really still appreciating your post? And do you also have a timeline for like Facebook or what, how frequently should we be doing these things? What do you find works for you?
Yes. So this works for us, but other people might find it different, is that we post every day or most days. And it might not be possible. It might be it's only weekly. We divide and conquer. So Lindsay posts the photos. The teachers send it to us in the staff WhatsApp group. She goes through it. She decides which photos are the best ones and then sends it to the parents. So that's how we do it. It's most days. And the parents, I've had parents say, I don't see my child in this group photo. Is she okay? Is he okay? And you're going, yes, no, just went to the bathroom, or. So the parents are invested. I had a friend of mine, a colleague, where she also every day should check because she wants to see the photos. So far, our parents enjoy it and they're happy with it. We haven't had any complaints. But at the same time, we are clean and clear when we communicate. With the WhatsApps, we might make a note and send the pictures. If there's any other information, we make it very clear it's an announcement. So you've got to be clear when there's so much happening in one group.
So your WhatsApp group is quite busy. You're speaking to current parents directly and they want to see their learners. But on Facebook, if you're posting once a week, that's plenty. For Facebook, always go with quality over quantity. Just choose one thing. And I like your tip, Kendall. If you have a staff WhatsApp group, let staff contribute and share ideas on there, photos on there, articles on there. And then you as the owner or the administrator have one person who's responsible for choosing and making sure that we are only keeping it simple and sharing what is necessary.
So, and just to add to that, now that you're saying that, we've got a staff team WhatsApp group, and all the communication goes on there. So, for example, if there's an incident, the teachers tell us on the WhatsApp group, and then we contact the parents almost immediately, or we send them a message, or we call them. So all the communication goes through there, including the images. So we are constantly up to date to then communicate with the parents or anything else that needs to be handled.
So for those of you who need some more WhatsApp group do's and don'ts, we're not going to go through all of this today. All of the do's and don'ts and our advice for WhatsApp groups is available on that Marketing Your Preschool Guide, the free download that I was telling you about at the beginning of the meeting. All right, we've spoken a bit about Facebook already. I think we want to talk a little bit about parent engagement. I remember a famous quote from another center owner who told me, if the only reason you are talking to a parent is to talk to them about school fees, then you can imagine they're not going to be too interested in always taking your call. So you've got to make sure that you're talking to a parent 9 times about something not relating to school fees, so that the one time you talk to them about payment due dates, invoices, that they do listen and that they understand that this is not just about payment. So when it comes to parent engagement, do you share feedback about child development? Tell us a bit about your plans for parent engagement and how you do that.
Yes, so there's the main communication, like like this week there was the parent survey and the responses from that, and then that was sent to the parents. Every week we send a picture, like I know you saw the post, about what the theme is for that week and how it's set up, even what the color for that week, what's the main letter. So you send that to parents in the WhatsApp group. So we're constantly communicating, and then on a personal level, we also communicate. And again, you don't want it to be that every time you communicate, there's an incident and or pushing about fees. So, for example, someone goes, "I forgot nappies," no problem at the staff know. There's constant communication and engagement with them if it needs to be personal communication.
Yes. And then most schools are doing a learner assessment, usually beginning of the year, doing a learner assessment to do a baseline to understand where learners are at the beginning of the year, and then another assessment towards the end of the year. And this is a great time of the year to engage parents around the learning and development journey of the child. So in the Grow app, once again, I sound like a record repeating myself, but it's a one-stop shop. In the app, there's a free learner assessment tool. So when you enroll the learners in your school, now in February and March, you can do a learner assessment to see how each learner is performing against the developmental outcomes for their age group. You can also download that report per learner as a PDF, and you can share that with the parent or host your parent evening, share it then and discuss the learner, where they're at and what the plans are for the year ahead in terms of development. So the learner assessment tools, I think, are fantastic, and parents really appreciate it because many of them don't know what even to look for, right, when it comes to development or milestones and what's important.
Yeah, we do the same. We send it individually to the parents when we do the assessment, and they value it. They care about the child. They want to know what's going on. And we communicate with them if they have questions and so on.
Absolutely. Okay, I see Ntombi's got a really interesting question, Kendall. She says, how do you compete with other preschools that have lower fees than yours? So Ntombi, I think that's a good question. Let's talk a little bit about fees, and that one's got lower fees, higher fees, and how we should be thinking about this.
Yeah, so that is a tricky one. I think this is something that's important, and I know everyone doesn't have it, but we are fortunate in Lansdowne that our ECD forum, which if you have one, please use it. It's really great.
Mm,
Everybody is there to support each other. We actually, so there's resources or information or anything, they actually share it because we realize something very important. There's more than enough kids to go around. You know what I mean? There's more than enough kids.
mm,
Um, and on top of that, we actually had a parent come to us and their child had some learning disabilities. And after speaking to them or challenges, we actually said this preschool who we know for years and they are wonderful might actually be a better fit for specifically for your child.
mm,
It's a
mm,
strange thing to say, but if they come to us, it's wonderful, and if they go there, it's wonderful.
mm,
Um, yeah, and people offering lower, it's a tricky thing, but I think you need to remember the value you offer. We are know where your market is. So if you're going to charge 1,000 rand more than most people can afford, they're not going to come to your school. We
mm,
actually have that where there was a brand, a franchise school who's coming to Lansdowne, but their prices are way more than the general fee, and they don't have a lot of kids right now.
mm.
So charging too much is not going to work, might not work, but remember your value.
Yes.
Um,
I mean, your
and
marketing, I think if your marketing strategy is to be the cheap school, then you've got to also realize that the service you offer is going to be the cheap service.
yeah,
So parents are willing to pay for what they want. There's a reason why some parents are willing to spend 600 Rand on their nails. Some people spend 300 Rand on their nails, and some people don't get their nails done. There are different types of customers out there. So imagine a shopping mall. When you walk into a shopping mall, there are different options, different brands. Do you want the premium mayonnaise, the middle mayonnaise, or just the no-name mayonnaise? And you're going to get what you pay for. So you have to calculate also what the costs are of actually providing your service. So no use reducing your price if actually that means that you can't afford your teachers anymore. So you've got to look at your costs, look at how many learners you legally are allowed to have at capacity, look at your incomes and expenses, and then calculate what do you need at minimum just to cover all the costs. Then you must build in a little bit of fat because we know sometimes your school is not full. 1 month or two, people might be keeping their children at home. So your fees are not just based on what everybody else is charging. It's based on the service that you are offering and the costs you are
yeah,
investing also to provide that service. And I think if you
exactly.
are providing an excellent service, there are certain customers who want to pay for that.
Sorry, and just to add to that, this is where Grow is so helpful because the point of the kits and the point of the information on the app is to standardize what's offered.
Mm.
So we know that we are providing a service that's top tier, and that's because you need to then do that if you're going to say you are doing it.
Yes.
But we're providing it at maybe a price that's doable within the community we're in,
Mm.
and we don't have an issue with that. But yes, we'd like to charge more, of course. Again, know your value, but our biggest thing is that any community, every single person deserves a certain level of education, and so we're going to provide that excellent service anywhere we are. But again, where you are, you can't necessarily be charging these really high fees.
Mm.
So we decided we're middle point in terms of fees, but we're going to provide top tier education no matter where we are.
Excellent. That's a really good place to start. So, Kendall, we have about 8 minutes left, but tell me about the year ahead for Annie's Arc. Do you have any events or fundraisers planned that will also support your marketing objectives? Maybe one or two that could inspire people.
Yes, so one of the things we just passed this weekend was the open day. And the motivation for it was that over the holidays, we had done a bunch of renovations. We had newly painted the school, we changed a bunch of stuff, you know. So because of that, we wanted to showcase that, but also to invite new parents. It was to invite current parents who haven't seen the school yet, our community, our stakeholders who follow us and have supported us. So that was something where we weren't charging or necessarily making money from it, but what we were doing is we were marketing internally and externally. So with the current people and potential people, that was a lovely tool to have, and it's a reason. I think with the fundraising, you've got to keep it clean and clear, but there has to be a reason to it, you know? So 2022, we had a day where the parents got to basically like be at the preschool for a day. And the parents got to, it was a Saturday, and the parents got to sit with their kids in the morning ring, in arts and crafts, in art play, all those things. And it was made just to engage with our parents. And then we had a Boerewors Day last year, which was purely to raise funds. It was simple, it was clear, it was during the World Cup, the Rugby World Cup. And we went with what was happening around us. We kept it simple, clear. Um, so those, we haven't decided yet on what our fundraisers are going to be, but that is our thinking behind it. Keep it simple, keep it theme-based, and yeah, know why you're doing it. That's the general mindset.
That's awesome. I
Oh,
really
and
love.
sorry,
Mhm.
very important about this is just like you check your fees for your school, do the same with whatever you're doing. Sometimes people put so much money and effort into something and they don't make the money back.
Mm.
So I think that is something, again, is to cost and remind yourself, why am I doing this? What am I doing it for? And then go accordingly. And don't overspend for something that you could do for simpler and cheaper.
Absolutely. There is so much more that I would love to share on marketing, but it simply isn't possible within an hour. What I can tell you is if you're interested in knowing more about marketing your preschool, we have the free Marketing Your Preschool guide that you can download from our resource center. We also have a free and data-free online marketing course for ECD center owners that you can do once again. Can you guess it? Through the Grow ECD app. You and your teachers can do that. So in the app, in the section for training, you can access all of our amazing training courses. One of them is called Marketing Your Preschool. It's a great course. When you're done, you also get a certificate of completion. How else can Grow ECD help you? So let's answer that question. Grow has a free ECD management app. Like I said, this is a one-stop shop. It's a digital tool, your whole school in the palm of your hands, helping you to enroll learners, manage your admin, take attendance, track your finances, see your financial statuses, access downloadable resources, access online training, conduct learner assessments. We have a help desk that's available on WhatsApp or just a call away. If you have any questions about the Giraffe app and how to get it, we can help you with that. Your teachers can also get the app called the Meerkat app, which is essentially just a limited version of what they can see. As the owner, you can see everything about your school and your learners. A teacher can only access and see a very limited amount. And finally, parents can see even less. They can only see the data and the information about their own child. That's a great place to start. Secondly, if you're thinking, Helene, I need to grow my head for business, I'm ready for this, then our ECD Small Business Accelerator training program is absolutely amazing. It's a 6-part in-person training program, and it costs only 600 Rand for the whole course, 6 days, where you'll learn leadership, money management, financial sustainability, education, compliance, and registration. And finally, our ECD Small Business Program. That's the program that Kendall and the team from Annie's Ark and over 170 other preschools across the country have already joined. The Small Business Program is the comprehensive Grow program, which includes the curriculum, the classroom kits, teacher training, ongoing mentorship, as well as business training and access to low-cost finance so that you can invest in your business. So here are the apps that I mentioned: Giraffe, Meerkat, and Lion for the owner, the teacher, and the parent. We will email this information to you. This is what the Giraffe app can do. If you're on your phone, quickly take a screenshot and you can see it's everything from budgeting to downloading policies and procedures to accessing teacher development training online. And this is for free. Any preschool in South Africa may use it. Our resource library, which is on the app, has over 300 free downloads that you can choose from topics like center management, numeracy, nutrition, literacy, professional development, policies, and procedures. And then the online training I mentioned as well. Online training courses, one of the most popular ones that perhaps you can do with your teachers this year is the Teacher Development Program. It's a 12-module program. Whether you are a brand new teacher or an experienced teacher, we're always busy learning. And the Teacher Development Program is a great one. You'll also be able to access the marketing training course that I mentioned on there. And the accelerator is the other one that I spoke about. The accelerator is only available in Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg, and Gqeberha. And we only have a few seats available for the first cohort starting on the 9th of February, I believe. We will have another one in May, but if you want to sign up for 9 February, make sure you sign up very quickly and pay to book your seat. All right, if your school only needs a curriculum, let's say you already have material or equipment, maybe you're based in another province, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, where GROW doesn't provide services, the other services yet. You can still start using our online curriculum, which is an online data-free access to the daily lesson plans for your teachers, 40 weeks of themed content brought to life with rich media, photos, videos, voice notes, songs. It really is an amazing tool. Reach out to us if you're interested in buying access to the curriculum. Finally, this is the important page also to screenshot or write down. This is the WhatsApp number on the email address for the app support help desk. If you have an app or you don't have the app yet, reach out to Wendy at our app support help desk and she will assist you. Otherwise, you can also reach out to our regional offices. I'll give you the contact details in a second. There we go. Oh dear, what am I doing? It's because I'm not presenting correctly. Sorry, everyone. Get to that contact details again. There we go. Cape Town, Durban, and Johannesburg. There are those contact details. Thank you so much for all the questions that we had in the chat. I absolutely appreciate it. Let me see if there's any questions we could still answer. Thank you, Ladize. She says, we love you guys so much. Yes, we love you too. Thank you very much. Thank you, Teresa. I hope that it was so helpful. Thank you, Kendall, for taking time out of a very busy diary. I know that there are lots of children, parents, teachers, all waiting for you. I hope your Facebook page hits 1,000 followers by tomorrow. I think it might. And thank you for being so generous with your advice and your ideas. And I think that that's what's so special about working together is, like you said, there are millions of children in South Africa and actually not that many preschools. Our job is to help parents realize how important education is and to educate them so that every preschool is full and there are enough children out there. It's more than a job. It really is a calling. So absolutely blessings to every ECD Center owner, teacher. May 2024 be a very, very good year. And may it be good for all of us. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kendall. Goodbye, everyone.